Welcome to Basketball Society's YouTube channel. Before we get into this podcast clip, make sure you are subscribed right here down below to Basketball Society so you can stay tapped in and don't miss out on any content from the channel. A lot of this I do feel like comes down to how her coach, we're assuming it's the Indiana coach, we're assuming it's the Fever organization, what kind of system they want to run with Caitlin Clark at point as their lead guard. Because I don't know what coach is going to be saying to her, you know, we just want you to be a traditional point guard and just distribute the ball, run our offense. Like, we all know what she is. I will say, based on how the Fever are set up, I'm pretty sure they're going to need her. I'm sure they're going to encourage her to score close to 20 points a game. However many shots that looks like I'm not saying they're going to let her shoot 20 plus shots a game, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be encouraging her to score the ball. I think this is the only take that there is when it comes to Caitlin Clark and how she's going to translate and what she's going to look like in the WNBA. This is the most important thing. This is the only thing. This is what it comes down to. It's how that organization, that coach, that roster even, it's how they want her to play. It's how they are encouraging her to play. So the Indiana Fever system, if we're about to see a system that is built around Caitlin Clark, I've seen several people put it like they should be adopting more like a Warriors type of system, right? Free flowing, a lot of motion, more emphasis on 3-point shooting, which the Indiana Fever have been at the bottom of the league, towards the bottom of the league in scoring and in 3-point shooting over the last few years. Indiana struggled to score 80 points a game the couple years before they got Aaliyah Boston, and last year they just scratched 80. I think they averaged 81 points a game, and the Aces are scoring north of 90 points a game over the last couple years, and that's your standard. That's the team that's at the top of the league right now. They're scoring 90 points a game. The Fever just got to scoring 80 points a game with Aaliyah Boston on their roster last year. I'm interested to see if a lot of these fans who are pronounced Caitlin Clark fans who are saying, like, I am following her to the WNBA. I haven't been paying attention much to the WNBA, but now I will, because now I have a team, because I'm a Caitlin Clark fan. So now I'm going to be an Indiana Fever fan. I'm going to be watching WNBA basketball. I'm wondering if those people will be disappointed if they don't see Caitlin be able to do the things that Caitlin has been doing, that they're used to seeing Caitlin doing at the college level. Mainly, of course, the deep threes, the deep shooting. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. I said this on the Protect Our Queens podcast. The main thing about Caitlin that has driven this mania and fan excitement, the main thing about her game is those deep threes, man, the logo threes. That's the most exciting part about her game. What has made Caitlin Clark, what created all this frenzy, why there's been this mass hysteria around her and her game. What's the number one thing about her game that has drawn this much attention to it? What's the main thing? What's kind of the only thing?
The shooting.
Not just the shooting, the deep threes.
The depth of the shooting,
it's
yes.
The deep
a step
threes.
Over half court.
It's the gravity. It's not her handle. It's not her. I mean, we acknowledge she's a great passer and stuff, but she's not a great athlete, right? She's not dunking the ball. We're not seeing her play above the rim. That's not what it is.
A good defender. It's
the deep shoot. It's the deep threes. Imagine if she gets to the W and fans don't get that as much. Like I was talking about earlier, like I wonder if fans are expected. It's like, and that again comes down to the coaching and the system and the program. What are they going to be telling her as far as how they want her to play? I can't wait to hear about the reports coming out of practice. This is going to start in practice at the Indiana Fever practices. We're going to need to know how Caitlin is looking in practice, in those practice reps against her WNBA teammates, right? That's going to be the first layer of like, okay, how does she look? What is she doing? What is she doing out there? I wonder how much of a point guard Indiana is going to want from her and out of her, because you gotta look around too. Indiana has players. Everyone knows about Aaliyah Boston. That's an amazing duo and combination of skill sets and abilities in itself in Caitlin and Aaliyah Boston. I mean, that in itself is, we're all excited about that, and we should be, because that's so much to work with on its own. But if you look at the other pieces on that team, the other players, their leading scorer last year was not Aaliyah Boston. It was Kelsey Mitchell, who, by the way, was one of the top scorers all time in college. Caitlin had to pass her. I think she's third still right now. Kelsey Mitchell, twitchy guard, shot maker, right? Looking for her shot. You have Nalissa Smith, who's kind of that dual forward who can also do things offensively. Who is going to be saying to her, if she comes in with her mentality, if she wants to be more like, okay, I'll let things come to me, I'll be conservative, I'll be more of a point guard, let me more set people up, make sure Aaliyah's getting her touches, make sure Kelsey's getting her touches, like if she comes in with more of that mentality, I wonder if someone, whether it's the coach or Lynn Dunn or Aaliyah Boston or anyone, I wonder if anyone who would be the one to say to her, yo, Caitlin, let that thing go. Go into Caitlin mode. Be who you are. And one of the things that could force someone to have to say that is if they're not winning games, is if it's just like not working, if it's not producing wins, if they're not cracking, at least 80 points a game regularly, 85 point, right? Like you want to see that offense humming. You want to see them scoring points. Part of that is going to be Caitlin not just getting double figures, but encouraging her to score. And so it seems like she's very confident and she's going to look for her openings. But I wonder how encouraging her coach and her organization and her teammates will be to be like, yo, girl, look for, if you feel that itch if you step over half and you feel that it, just let it go for it. Like, I wonder if she'll need to be told or encouraged to go into that mode, or if she's already there and we're just going to see her like start to figure that out. Now, you can't just start letting them go and missing and stuff. That's not going to fly. She's going to have to make, like, if she's early on in her first couple games shooting and making deep threes, then, God help us all. Like, who knows what's going to happen. The defense that Caitlin Clark saw with Raven Johnson was just a taste of what she's about to see in the WNBA. Like, that's the closest thing to what, like, we saw Nika Mule, of course, in the Final Four game do a really good job as well. That defense from Raven Johnson is a taste of what Caitlin will see at the next level in the W. Quicker, not going for the, the little hezzies, right? Like, she's going to have to figure that stuff out. It gets quicker, faster, stronger, just like any adjustment when you go up a level in sports. I do think at times Indiana is going to need Caitlin to be their best player in her rookie year. I think they are going to need that, and they should want that from her, to feel like at times or in certain games or in certain moments, like they should want her to feel like and operate like their best player. She doesn't have to be, she's not carrying the franchise. Again, it's not Iowa. She's playing with better players, better roster. She doesn't have to carry that roster because they have good players. They have the rookie of the year from last year. Like, it's not set up that way. The WNBA play, I mean, you heard Diana Taurasi, right? She said reality is coming, but Taurasi did also say after that, when you're great, it translates. So Caitlin is going to be a really good player. At the very least, she's going to be really good because she's a great basketball player, shooting, passing, awareness, IQ, right? I know she's not a great defender, but I also believe that more time playing with WNBA and practicing with WNBA caliber talent and players is going to toughen her up, make her a better defender. You become better. That's part of your development going to the next level. That's one of the most exciting things about seeing these great players go to the next level. It's like, okay, now you get next level development, next level experience and coaching and training. So we see a new version of you. So no, I don't expect Caitlin Clark to become some all-world defender, but I also don't think her lack of defense is going to stop her from becoming whatever she's going to become. How explosive she'll be right away really comes down to like her adjustment to things, the quickness, the physicality, all those things that come with adjusting to a higher level of competition, and also the system and what they're promoting and what they're pushing as far as how they want to play.